For like 3 months, I feel like we came in this entrance over there and it was like, should we go left or right? Because
Okay.
it seemed like those were the options, left or right. And then one day we came up here and we were like, oh, this is kind of a path, even though it's not on the map. So then we had a third option.
Right.
And that was fun.
Yeah. Did it feel like cheating or something to go off the paved
I
path?
feel like at first I was like, are we supposed to be doing this?
But we had been off of the paths all over the place, just not here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was sort of in our head.
I feel like for some people who are coming here for the first time, or at least something I noticed with people who seem to be visiting for the first time, they think they can't go on the grass.
Yeah.
But like, how do all these people visit their relatives without going on the grass? So
Right.
like, of course you can go on the grass.
Right. It's interesting. We did a walk I guess a month and a half or 2 months ago now, and it was through a bunch of cemeteries in Queens, and I had a very similar feeling of like when we'd want to cut across, being like, ooh, is this okay? Is this disrespectful? But I think it's fine. It's like bringing some energy. And yeah, like you said, how are you supposed to get to the gravesite without walking to the gravesite?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm no cemetery expert yet, but it is, from what we've been reading a little bit, it is interesting that there was this period of time where cemeteries were treated with some slight suspicion maybe from people insofar as they wanted to be buried by their church, and like the idea of this like distinct district of being buried. There was a period of time where that wasn't yet in vogue, and then there was a period of time where it was very much in vogue and people would go and visit, and now we're in this other phase where people feel it's hollowed or they don't know what to do, but this was always meant as or there was a period of time where it was meant as leisure,
Yeah. Before Prospect Park opened, this was the main green space in Brooklyn. So people would come hang out here. It was like a social place to come.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't have relatives to visit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah, and it makes sense. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go through all my facts in the first 2 minutes, but I think it's in 1860, this was the most popular tourist attraction in New York State. Like something like 500,000 people a year would come here.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. They sent an email recently with like the clicker count of how many people had come through in 2020, and it was like 500,000 or something.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah.
And at least half of one of those million is just us. Over and over again.
That's right. Well, let's start walking.
All
I
right.
want to ask you about how was it that you guys came up with the idea of doing your project, basically?
Well, when we were apartment hunting, we were looking at a few different neighborhoods. We were pretty open to where we would live. And I'd say that when we looked at our apartment here, which is just 3 blocks from this entrance on 20th Street and Prospect Park West, this was like the main selling point, at least for me. I'd say for both of us, having access to like a big green space, both Prospect Park and the cemetery, was a huge plus. And so when we started coming in, it's kind of hard to not accidentally repeat your steps a lot.
Right.
And just realizing how many interesting things there were to look at, like literally every couple of feet there's something interesting. And, we wanted to see it all.
Yeah.
And so to avoid, accidentally walking on the same paths over and over again but missing something else, we got one of the paper maps that they give out. Actually, did you guys get one of those?
No,
Not
we
yet,
should
no.
though.
Should we
at
go
least
back and
on
get
the-
one?
If it makes sense. All right, well, let's just go with whatever you
Okay.
feel
You
out.
should
We
get
can
one
go
when
with
you
that.
leave,
We
and
can
then
get
the
one on the
other
way
days
out.
you'll
Okay.
have
We
it.
have a whole week
This
worth
is
of
ours.
grabbing it, too.
Oh,
We
you
brought
have
ours
two?
with
Oh,
us.
good.
That's
Okay.
pretty worn
nice.
out.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so we started highlighting our routes at the end of each walk.
Oh, cool.
So to ensure that we covered everything and didn't
Wow.
miss anything.
I like your choice of highlighter
Yeah,
color
me
as
too.
well.
I'm actually really fond of these neon colored pencils that were kind of perfect for
Oh,
it.
is that what they are? Yeah.
Mostly, yeah.
Is there
And-
any color coding involved
There
here?
is not, no. I
Okay.
wish that we had thought to do that.
It's sort of like we did yellow first,
Okay.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then we did, I think, like green, and then purple, and I think the orange was the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so now you have, it looks like every path is covered. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
true?
We've done the
Yeah.
whole thing, yeah.
Amazing.
I think we finished in May. We thought it would take us like all of 2020, but then the pandemic happened and we were coming every day. And like a Saturday we could spend like hours here, so that really accelerated the process.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic, this gate was only open on the weekends.
Right.
So we
Oh,
would come
really?
like maybe once every 2 weeks.
Okay, because then your other option would be to walk all the way around to where,
To
like 25th
Fifth Avenue,
Street or
yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I guess isn't that far, but also not as convenient as
Yeah.
being right around the corner.
Oh, watch out, there's some goose poop.
Oh, thanks. That
Actually
seems
a
to
lot of
be-
it.
That's a callback to another podcast episode we did that Jesse just mentioned about cemeteries.
Uh-huh.
We had this forensic genealogist, Mark, come on. He was a great guest. He showed us around Old Calvary Cemetery. And he said that one time he was out there when there was a lot of snow, and he ended up stepping in a mountain of goose poop. Because apparently he theorized that when there's snow, the geese huddle together for warmth.
Oh.
And they were just pooping in one spot.
So back to your walks around Greenwood. Did you document it in any way, or was it more of like a leisure activity for yourselves, or?
Well, the map was the main document.
Oh, of course, we just
And then,
saw it.
right, and then sort of within that, we started another project where we were noticing a lot of names on graves that were words.
Okay.
So we started photographing graves that were words.
Mhm.
I'm sure we'll notice one any minute now. And at some point, with the goal of putting them together as poems.
Cool.
Ooh.
And so I did a few of those on Instagram.
I saw a couple of those. Yeah.
Which was kind of fun. And I started a Google sheet where I was tracking all I call them green words.
Oh, amazing.
And maybe I'll get back to that at some point.
There's Rich.
Yeah. But the project started to feel a little bit inappropriate with all the death happening. So I started to feel a little bit
Felt
weird
a little
about it.
uncomfortable about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I could see that. It's definitely very, as opposed to being like an abstract concept,
Yeah.
it kind of has become a lot more real over
Yeah.
the last year.
I kind of forgot about this now, but when we first started coming here because of the stay-at-home orders, it was a weird thing to be doing when the main thing on everyone's mind was death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be spending all our time here felt really strange and maybe too symbolic if you overthought it. So
Yeah.
we very much tried to not think about it. Oh, we should.